guys, welcome back to another episode of Conversations with Dr. Gosalia. Today, I'm really excited to introduce one of my friends, Lily Rollins, and I'm going to read you her bio because I think she's got an awesome history and she's really active in the profession, really helping students. So let me read you her bio and then we're going to jump into a whole bunch of questions here. So Lily Rollins is the 2021-2022 president of the Student Academy of Audiology. This past year, she served as the executive committee liaison to the Student Academy of Audiology Diversity and Inclusion Task Force. Prior to this, she volunteered for the National Student Academy of Audiology Humanitarian Committee and was the Special Olympics Healthy Hearing Subcommittee leader. She's also active in her local SAA chapter. Throughout her term, Lily aims to encourage students to be more aware of and involved in current issues in audiology. Her goals for the term encompass topics such as diversity and inclusion, public awareness, leadership development, and advocacy. She is a fourth-year AUD student at the University of Texas at Dallas, and currently she's completing her externship at the Orlando VA Healthcare System, and she received her Bachelor of Science degree in Audiology and Speech-Language Pathology at the University of North Texas. Lily, thank you so much for joining us today. Tell us first, how did you end up in audiology? Let's start with that.
Yes, so funny story. I'm sure many of you guys, have to, find audiology. It's not the most well-known profession yet, but I actually started off finding speech-language pathology, and I found out through a career test, funny enough, where it was in one of my top 5 choices. So I went to my first communication disorders class, and that's where I really started learning more about audiology. And I really love just the diagnostic and the treatment of it, learning more about our hearing healthcare and realizing how important it is for communication. I was just like, wow, I could really see myself doing this. And so here we are, almost 8 years later, still in it.
As a student, I take a lot of students and I can tell that they're just bogged down with just schoolwork to begin with. And then of course, in my clinic, we make it super hard on them. We crack the whip a little bit. But, taking on all these volunteer positions has to take a lot of time. Well, why do you think leadership is so important? And then, you're also president of the National Student Academy of Audiology. So why do all this and where do you find the time?
Yeah, so ever since I started grad school, I just wanted to get more involved, to learn more about audiology. I went to a lot of volunteer events that my school hosted and went to a lot of our local SAA events. And I just want to know, how could I get more involved? And I think really with leadership, it has been such a unique opportunity to be a part of some of the bigger conversations happening in audiology, conversations with other leaders across the nation. You get a lot of diverse perspective there. Being able to talk to the academy and sit in on some of the meetings, and learn from the perspective of some of the professionals has been so incredibly enriching. And I really, really encourage other students to take these leadership opportunities as they can, especially if they have big ideas for the future, because we're the students, we're coming up. You guys are going to be the ones that are shaping the future. So strongly encourage you guys to join in any leadership opportunities if you want to. And then, being president, actually the past president of SAA, Stephanie Tittle, went to my school. So I got to see a lot of what she did and how she was working in the role. And then she was just very encouraging and very inspiring to see. And so that's how I got there. So after seeing her and again, wanting to get more involved and make a similar change, I went ahead and ran for president.
Nice. I'm a big proponent of leadership and I love working with students. You said something that I like to talk about as well, which is students are the future of our profession, right? Some of us old timers are going to retire soon and maybe longer than soon, but eventually we're going to retire and we're not going to be around. So it's refreshing to see, Stephanie and yourself and a lot of your colleagues who are running for these leadership positions, who I'm hoping will also take on leadership positions on the national scale with the National Academy of Audiology. So hopefully we'll see you in a leadership role there. But you talked about something that I want to talk about, which is some of the challenges. So what do you see as some of the challenges that current audiology students are facing? And how is SAA actually helping with that?
Right, yeah. So one of the big conversations, especially this past year, has been the externship process, trying to find a way to standardize that. So it's a lot of applying, waiting, what should we do, what shouldn't we do? And I know outside of the SAA, one of the audiology clinics, education network, they've been working on finding a way to standardize that project. And so actually we have some of our members of our SAA board are kind of working with them, trying to get student feedback, see what is working, what isn't working, so we can formulate a plan, help make this the externship process good for everybody. So we've been working on that over the last couple months, sending out surveys and things and looking over the data. That's been one of the big challenges that we're working on. Another aspect is recruitment in a way. So I know our member relations committee is reaching out to a lot of schools with undergraduate communication disorders, with communication disorders programs, trying to see what their students need and say, hey, we can reach out to you, trying to find more people who are interested in audiology and help cross that bridge so that way they can come join us, and get the resources that they need. So that's been really nice to see. Also, a really big issue is advocacy. I know this is the big one. Where as of right now, sometimes it seems like it's really affecting the professionals, but a lot of us are going to be professionals in 4, 3, 2 years. These are going to be some of the issues that are impacting us too. So our public outreach and our education committee do a lot of awareness campaigns, help local chapters work on hosting events to raise awareness, whether it's for MASA or the multi-state compact, just encouraging others to get involved in their local advocacy as well as the national advocacy. So those are some of the big things that we've been working on that I think will help students in the future.
Yeah, I think advocacy is one of those big things that even audiologists that have graduated or been practicing in the field for 20, 30 years haven't really grasped that aspect of advocacy. We're always complaining, oh, people don't know what audiology is, that they don't know where to go to get their hearing tested. Well, we've been doing events for the last 20, 30 years that just a small percentage of audiologists are taking part in. So it's really important for audiologists in general to take part in advocacy. But the student part, I mean, that's huge that you guys are doing that. I think it's very hard, right? As a student, because you're so, students are so bogged down with the schoolwork aspect of, what they're doing and externships, internship sites. I know my students that I take, they're bogged down with a lot of homework and classwork and projects, because of course, it's a doctoring profession. Why should a student consider taking on a leadership role, like, with either their local SAA chapter or on the national scale?
Yeah, so this goes back to what we briefly touched on earlier, right? Students are the change. Students are the future. The getting involved now, getting educated now, that's going to put you in a good position for when you graduate. And, once you start encountering these issues, it's like, oh, I've talked about this, or, oh, I already have some ideas on how to tackle this or how to get involved. It's so much better to get started early and start planting the seed early to help see that change that you want to see. And again, even in those leadership roles, I know it's something, it is daunting. It's a lot with school, with externship, I got assignments, things to do. It's hard to kind of work it in. But finding that time, even for every meeting when I'm tired, I get off every meeting. So incredibly enriching, getting to talk with one another, getting to learn more, like seeing how you're giving back, not just to the community, to the profession, but to the community as well. It's, even though it is another thing added to the schedule, it's definitely well worth it. So yes, plant those seeds early and get involved when you can.
And, when you talk about giving back, I actually sported my SAA audiology shirt today just for this interview today. It's just, I love this shirt. I was really excited to get it. One of my very close friends and colleague, Dr. Jennifer Martin, actually is the one that told me about it. And she was sitting at the table at a AAA conference in the past. And sure enough, I bought it, and I wish I bought more because it's the most comfy shirts that I have. And I'm sure SAA has a bunch of other merch that, people can look up and purchase. I'll put the links in the bio below just so people can click on it. And, if you're buying these products, it goes towards the national SAA to help student initiatives. So this March, at the end of March, we're going to be in St. Louis, right? So what is SAA doing in St. Louis this year?
Yes, I'm really excited. So our programs committee has been working so hard to put together a bunch of different sessions for our students. We have our SAA conference, which is the day before the conference. So Wednesday, March 30th from 10 to 4. They have they have some sessions on pediatric topics and adult topics. And then they also have some hands-on sessions this year, which will be really interesting. And then at the end of the day, we're going to do a meet and greet with some of the other Academy members. So that way we get to talk to you guys and, find out what's important to you guys in audiology and bounce ideas back and forth. And then throughout the conference, we'll have a booth set up so you can come chat, say hey if you missed the meet and greet, but we have other sessions planned as well. Again, more of those adult pediatric cases, also some things on practice management and, general things about audiology outside of the clinic. And we also have some panels too that people can join. So really just a wide variety of topics. So I hope you guys come and stop by and see what we're doing.
Yeah, one of my buddies, Dr. Ryan Bullock, who was a past SAA president, is going to be talking about private practice on one of the panels, and so excited for that. Can audiologists, besides students, join some of those sessions, or is it strictly only for students?
I believe audiologists can join too, open for all. Yes, so if you're interested, come on in.
That sometimes you guys have the better sessions than we have. That's between you and me. Don't let anybody else
right.
know that.
That's our secret.
That's right. And by the way, little plug here as well. We just confirmed and are finalizing our details for the 5K every year at AAA. We run a 5K or walk a 5K, and all 100% of the proceeds that we generate go towards the local SAA chapters on where AAA is held. For example, in Columbus, we raised a bunch of money for the 4 Ohio SAA chapters. And then Louisiana, when it was supposed to be in New Orleans, so we raised a bunch of money for the 2 chapters there. And then this year, we're raising money for 2 of the local SAA chapters around St. Louis. Man, you've shared so much. I'm curious about your viewpoint. I was on a session just the other day with a couple of audiologists for University of New York. And one of the topics that kept coming up is, where do we see audiology heading? With all these threats that are coming out, and I know that audiology is not just hearing aids, so we can't just focus on OTC and third-party payers, et cetera, and Medicare covering hearing aids, but in general, audiology, including tinnitus, balance, APD, et cetera. Where do you, Lily Rollins, where do you see audiology going?
Yeah, I think we're really at like a critical time in audiology history right now, where a lot of things are happening. A lot of research still coming out, expansion of practice, expansion of what we can do, or I should say expansion of knowledge of things that we can do, really focusing on some of the things that we do in the clinic and, standardizing those, just providing good care. But no, I really think, especially with some of the advocacy things going on, like MASA, like MASA, I think this, if we can keep this where we're headed going as far as the advocacy, we could see a lot of change in like our access to care. And that's something I'm really big on. If we're able to get practitioner status and things, able to directly access patients, get affordable care for our patients, I think we can reach a lot more people. And then I think that's going to help also with spreading general awareness about audiology, because now, with more access, more people want to see us. They talk to their buddy, say, oh yeah, I got my hearing checked. This is something you should do too, kind of play off of each other there. And I know you mentioned those increased threats, like those over-the-counter hearing aids and stuff. And I think those are things that if we play our cards right, we might be able to, work in that education aspect and maybe even turn it into our favor. So that way we can get more people to see us, not just for the hearing aids, right? It might start with there, but oh, now you have tinnitus. Oh, now you have balance issues. Now you have all these other things going on. Well, now you've been directed to the right professional, so I think if we play our cards right, we can really angle it to bring more patients to us. So that way we're able to help out more people.
Absolutely. And I agree 100%. So you're in your 4th year, or your final year, I should say. I shouldn't say 4th year. So when do you graduate?
In May.
May. So couple more months.
It's coming up.
So once you graduate, and where are we going to see Lily Rollins in, let's say, 5 years? Where's Lily in 5 years?
Yes. So as far as work, I'm currently at a VA, and I've really enjoyed my time there. Would love to continue to stay there, work with the veterans and things. It's been a real fun time, and I really enjoy it. So that's as far as work. And then outside of work, of course, I want to stay involved in the academy. I'm so grateful that I've been able to learn all these different things about how it works, what goes on. So finding different ways, get involved in some of the different committees and things that the academy has as a volunteer, and maybe work my way up. We'll see, but for sure as a volunteer to help give back to the audiology and keep some of the good things that we're doing going. So
that's awesome. And I always get inspired by a lot of our motivated students, and Lily, you're no different in that aspect. I always inspired and motivated when I hear people like you speak about how the future of audiology is bright and there's so many things coming in. We're so excited for the future. So before I let you go, do you have any final comments or thoughts or statements for any other students or audiologists who are watching this episode today?
Yes, a message to the students. Get involved in any way you can, whether it's at your local chapter, whether it's national, even if it's not in the chapter, even if it's just through volunteer events, going out to your local communities, find that way to get involved in your community, involved with other students, build that network, build that community. Because it's just so incredibly enriching, and then it's just great to see the change that you can make for the good, for the better, right? So get involved if you can.
Awesome. And sell more shirts, right?
Yes, more shirts.
Lily, thank you so much for taking the time on a Sunday to chat with me. And if you guys would like more information about Lily, I've put all of her information down below in the bio. And there are links to SAA and all kinds of other fun stuff. So you guys be inspired by a leader. Whoops, let's go this way, leader. Lily, and thank you again, Lily.
Yes, thank you. Have a good one.
Yeah.